presents Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast with your host, Bob Katie and Jay Schmidt.
Welcome to week 11 of Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast.
Welcome.
Yes, we are back again. Fun with football.
Yes.
So we ought to call it Fun with Football. We are fun with football. I guess we'll start off by seeing that this is our first broadcast since what happened last Friday in Paris and say that, you know, our thoughts are with the people and everything that happened in Paris.
Yes, I agree.
This last weekend.
Yes.
And everything. You know, hopefully they looks like the French are ready to take care of some business. They already started already.
Yeah. Nope.
So, you know, hopefully this is going to end up being a worldwide thing and they're not going to have anywhere to hide after a while.
Yeah. Hopefully they can stamp it out here.
Yeah.
These cowards.
That's right. Get them done. Get them off.
Yep.
But now it's time for Fun with Football.
Yes. Fun with football.
Fun with football. So we'll start our Week 10 recap. And we'll start off. Well, I get to hit a button right away. Look at that.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
That's right.
Yeah.
Last Thursday, my Bills actually decided to show up on prime time, which very happy about, even though they still at the end of the game made me just like, ugh, you know, right to the end.
Yeah.
You know,
some solid defense.
Yeah, defense played better than I expected they would.
Yep.
A lot. And I got to say, Sammy Watkins dropped a couple of passes, and he had one that was underthrown by Tyrod Taylor, but he owned Revis.
Yeah.
He was having Mai Tais on Revis Island.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he just owned him, which was spectacular. Just spectacular. And, of course, Fitzy was Fitzy in the end there. as all Bills fans went, it's going to be coming soon.
Yep.
So, yeah, just a huge game for the Bills.
Yeah.
It gets them in second place, gets them in the division, gets them in first place in the wild card round. You know, I believe they're slotted number 5. Another, 2 divisional games back to back and a stretch run. They got the Patriots this week, so that was huge. That would have pretty much ended, I think, their season if they had lost there, especially going into New England this week.
Yeah.
The Jets are going to be the Jets losing was pretty big on them because they lost in their house to a divisional opponent.
Yep.
That they're now tied with, and puts them back behind Pittsburgh, I believe. I believe Buffalo and Pittsburgh are 5 and 6, hold the 2 wild card slots as of right now.
Yeah, I would say so.
And the Jets put them. Actually, I believe does that? No, it doesn't. They're 1 up on the Raiders, I believe, but they don't even hold the tie over the Raiders if they lose. So I mean, it's a mixed bag because Pittsburgh owns the tiebreaker over the Raiders. The Raiders own the tiebreaker over the Jets. The Bills own the tiebreaker over the Jets. The Jets own the tiebreaker over nobody.
Yeah.
So that one hurt them as far as a wild card, but doesn't by any means take them out of the discussion. They're still very much in it, and they're going to be a tough team down. I like Todd Bowles as their head coach. Big time. The Bills' defensive backs, Darby, the rookie, is amazing. And Gilmore is those two just really shut those guys down when they were covering them. Because I know Marshall had a touchdown, but it wasn't against Darby or Gilmore. And Marshall was lined up against Darby most of the night, and he didn't catch one against him. So those two, our defensive backs have been spectacular
Yeah.
If we had the pass rush from last year, oh my God, that would just be insane. But everybody did good on that, so that makes me happy. The score was 22-17, by the way.
Yep.
My head one was like when the punter, our long snapper, kept up to the right, and I'm like, it's going to bite us eventually. He's just off tonight, and it bit us, and I was like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
There it goes, but good old-fashioned kind of stupid play calling by the Jets helped us out on that anyway. But we'll take it. It was a tough win, but those are the ugly wins. The one thing I don't understand is everybody's like, oh, the Jets and the Bills looked terrible during that game. Well, yeah, but they're playing a very evenly matched team in each other that are actually very similar in certain respects to each other. So are they really that terrible, or is it they're just playing two good teams playing against each other that it kind of happens that way? Sometimes you get two great teams play each other, and it's an ugly game just because they're so well matched, you know.
Right.
I think the Bills and Jets are very well matched, you know, in that division, and I think the Dolphins, unfortunately, don't match up against anybody in that division.
Yeah.
You know, much of anybody.
And the uniforms are very Christmassy.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible.
Looked like a bunch of elves running around.
We looked like Kermit the Frog and Elmo were having a fight. I mean, that was just terrible. That was the colorblind people were really pissed. Yeah, that was terrible. I never want to see those uniforms ever again. I don't associate Buffalo with red in the first place, so I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I would have preferred them to be in all blue, actually, because they do wear those blue uniforms. Not quite socks and shoes, but they do have they do blue on blue sometimes, which I kind of dig. But that red was terrible. The green was, everything was just terrible on that.
Yep.
I hate night games. I really do. Unfortunately, Bills have one this week. I hate them. It just, as John would say, gets me off my SOP. But enough of that game. Saints 14, Redskins 47.
Yeah, where the hell did that come from?
And Rob Ryan has finally been fired.
Yeah, yes.
He got fired 3 times yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, that was, geez, I mean.
The third, I believe I wrote this down, the third game in a row the Saints have allowed 4 touchdowns by the opposing quarterback.
That's crazy.
And when your opposing quarterback is Kirk Cousins, basically the Saints defense makes everybody look like Tom Brady.
Yeah. He's been on a little bit of a roll though too. He's been playing pretty good. Kirk Cousins, 324 yards, 4 TDs. Whew.
Unfortunately, Saints defense is where it shows.
I had something here that was there. Oh, Washington had a 96-yard drive. Was their longest drive since 2000.
Wow.
15 years.
That Saints defense is just terrible. There's one cornerback, Browner there, who's with Seattle, the Patriots, and then Seattle before that. The Redskins player is, running, and they're all in pursuit, and instead of making the tackle, he decided to block. He decided to take a cheap shot at one of the linemen. It's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to. No wonder why your defense isn't a shambles.
Yeah.
Oh my dear Lord. The sad thing is, if the Saints could straighten out their defense, they would be, they'd be winning these. I guess they'd be winning more every week than every other week.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Their defense is, but finally they got rid of. I mean, I think we called for that the last couple of weeks. Why haven't they fired? I wanted to say Rex Ryan there for a second. Rob Ryan. Yeah. So that's like, that's just brutal by the Saints.
They're on the bye, so maybe they'll get something turned around with a new D coordinator. And
it's funny because they said he was fired. All these reports said he was fired. They got, obviously the reporters got a hold of Sean Payton there when he was going in somewhere or someplace, and he said he hadn't heard anything or talked to anybody, and that Rob Ryan's not fired, but he's going to go talk to the GM.
Uh-huh.
And then literally like an hour later, it was like Rob Ryan's fired. So they can't even get their stories straight on that. But Lions 18, Packers 16.
Wow, what is wrong with Green Bay in Lambeau?
Oh, I know. Lions' first win in Green Bay since 1991.
Yep.
There is at least a 50% portion of those players that weren't born when the Lions won last time in Green Bay.
Yeah.
That is the Packers.
3 losses for Green Bay.
I don't know what's going on with the Packers, but I can't. I can't take them.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't pick them anymore.
It's crazy.
Until they.
You would think they would.
Well, you would think their offense wouldn't be the problem.
Right.
You could understand if it was like one of those like 37-32 or high-scoring games they're losing, but they're not They're losing obviously 18-16.
Yeah.
Their defense is still doing something. Their offense.
They actually had a shot to win it at the end there too.
Yeah.
They cut the onside kick and.
Oh, I know, that was crazy too. Your star receiver can't handle the. For the
they had a chance. They just
Calvin
can't
Johnson.
move the ball. It's like I don't know.
I mean,
Crazy.
I'll say something. The Lions' offense seemed to be waking up a little bit.
Yeah.
They seem to be getting back to the way they were
Yep.
in their playoff run last year. So but the Packers is the big story there. They're just
Yep. Surprising.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going on the radio saying RELAX, relax. I don't think he's saying that.
No.
Cowboys 6, Tampa Bay 10. The barn burner there.
Dallas's longest losing streak since 1989.
7-game losing streak. Yep. That was 89. I believe that was Aikman's rookie year, if I'm correct.
Yeah, should have been.
Cowboys fans, RELAX. Tony Romo's coming back this week.
Hopefully that makes a difference. If they lose this week, that's going to be.
I think Romo's going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
But I think they would still be in a bit of trouble this year. You know what? If Romo hadn't got hurt, they would probably be leading the division because the division is so piss poor.
Yeah, it is.
But they would still not be the team they were the year before because I think not having that – I think what do you call it? One of the worst things that happened was DeMarco Murray going where the money was and not staying in Dallas for both of them.
Yep.
DeMarco Murray isn't being run. It is not meant for Chip Kelly's offense, and Dallas needs him. So I think it was a lose-lose in that whole thing this offseason for both the player and the team. It really was, and they got to get rid of. Well, Dez did his usual go off on the reporter thing. He flipped out.
Yeah.
So. We were waiting. Everybody was waiting for that. Now that happened. Okay, next, we can go out in the season, and they got to get rid of that Hardy guy. Jerry Jones is every time he opens his mouth about Greg Hardy, he just digs himself a deeper hole, looking like a real douche.
Yeah,
he needs to cut that dude and just move on. The Bucks look like the Bucks. I mean, they just need more talent.
Yeah.
I think Winston's going to be a good quarterback. Just not a lot of talent to get the job done. Kind of simple on that. Panthers 27, Titans 10.
Not really much to say there.
Nothing real surprising in that game.
Yeah, Tennessee was short 2 cornerbacks with injuries, and then they lost another one during the game. So they're hurting in the secondary. But
the Panthers defense made Mariota look like a little bit of a rookie.
Yeah. Yeah, and Carolina's on a 13-game winning streak going back to last season. So,
and I'll reiterate it again. If you want to call it Bob and Jay's power rankings, Bob puts them before the Patriots. I looked at the Patriots' schedule, and if they lost any of those games, the Patriots the Patriots shouldn't have lost any of the games that they've been playing. They haven't played anybody, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they played Pittsburgh. It's the first week, so you're kind of a crapshoot there. Pittsburgh had two major weapons not playing in that game.
And a kicker that couldn't kick.
And a kicker that couldn't make it. Yeah.
If he'd made the field goals, they would have won that game.
Yeah. And I mean, Pittsburgh wasn't not even close to Pittsburgh. This whole season is not going to be what they what they should have been out of the gate, and probably could be making a real deal Super Bowl run. I mean, I guess I should rephrase this another way, because I don't want to offend the Pittsburgh fans. I don't mean they're not on that kind of a run, but a dominant run.
Yeah.
They could be on a real deal dominant run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, they should be. You guys should be owning the division, but obviously we had some suspensions and now injuries and everything. And you know, I don't care what they say. Injuries mean a lot.
Sure,
you know what I mean? And it seems harder than ever now to overcome them.
Yeah, to a point. It's right.
Yeah, when you're losing, like you lost your running back and your quarterback, and you know what I mean. Buffalo had what they're calling Buffalo's triplets: Watkins, McCoy, and Taylor. We had all three of them out for a couple of games, which destroyed our offense completely. So yeah, I mean that just. Injuries, it seems. This collective bargaining agreement was not good with lack of practice.
Yeah.
You know, really not.
No.
They need to give these guys more practice time, it seems like. Bears 37, Rams 13. What is with the Rams?
I don't know.
I'm done with them, too.
That was...
I can't pick them anymore.
That's crazy. I just can't believe Chicago.
Well, Chicago's
that surprised
hot.
me more than
It didn't. You know
Rams.
What? The Bears aren't surprising me, because they're after that Chargers game, I felt like they were falling in sync. You know what I mean? They were catching the momentum. The Rams, though, 1 week they're world beaters, and the next week they can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
And they benched Foles.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. What the heck? I don't know the name of the guy who's taking over there. Is it some with a C? I can't think of his name. He's been there for a few years. He's a backup, but he's taking over, and it seems like the Rams really desperately need that quarterback, because the Gurley is just they got that guy in just perfectly run.
Case Keenum.
That's it. Case. See, that's right. See, at least I got that part.
See,
Case Keenum, but he's been there for a couple of years. I remember hearing him. He played last year when Sam Bradford inevitably always gets hurt. The Bears are hot, red hot. You know. Everything seems to be lining up for them. That's for sure. I would not want to be playing them right now.
Yeah.
They are on fire. Dolphins 20, Eagles 19.
Yeah. Another team that's schizophrenic. Actually, two of them.
I don't think the Eagles are schizophrenic. I just don't think they're that good.
I
think, you know how everybody scratched their head on all the things that Chip Kelly did this offseason?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the expectations were right where we thought they were going to be. He's not surprising anybody. Bradford's not going. Looks like he's not going to play this week.
Yeah.
So Mark Sanchez, woohoo! The Dolphins. Number one is the Dolphins looked terrible in this win. It's just that the Eagles actually handed them the whole game on a platter. Because if you can, they're the first team since the 1980 Seahawks to get 3 straight safeties in 3 games. I mean, is that unbelievable?
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah.
I want to find out how they're going to get a safety this week.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's not the proper way to say it, because if you get a safety, you're getting the point. So what would they be giving up a safety? I guess that would be the proper terminology.
Right.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I want to see how they give up a safety this week. That's the interesting part about watching a Dolphins game. Jaguars 22, Ravens 20. Yay. Jacksonville. My pick.
Yeah.
My pesky little pick.
Last second field goal, which actually shouldn't have counted. The NFL realized they screwed that up.
What happened to this?
The play where the play before they kicked the field goal, the line actually wasn't set and should have been a penalty where they got the roughing the passer, I think, the Baltimore. So they got the 15 yard.
It was a 15-yard.
It shouldn't have counted. The NFL admitted the ref screwed it up because the left guard wasn't even set when they hiked the ball. So the NFL admitted they blew it. So
that's the second game Jacksonville's won on a penalty. I think the Buffalo game they won on a penalty also.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
but
Jacksonville's still pesky though.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And Baltimore's pretty crappy.
Yeah, and that's Jacksonville's first road win since December of 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
Baltimore has lost. Oh, that's one thing I put in here. Baltimore's lost its 7 games this season by a total of 32 points.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was telling you, I was looking at the standings. Jacksonville's a contender.
Oh, sure.
They are what? They are 1 game out.
That whole division's just a mess, too.
They are 1 game out of winning the division right now. They are 3-6 with the Texans and the Colts at 4-5 and Tennessee at a lonely 2-7.
Yeah.
That is just
crazy, right?
Yeah, crazy, unbelievable. The next best thing is when you look at the Giants at 5-5 winning their division.
Nope.
With the Redskins, Eagles at 4-5. The Cowboys could make if Romo can lift them enough to make a run, they could go 2-7, which they won't go on a run because they're not going to go and win in Buffalo. But they're 2-7. They're only they're not that far out of the division.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're 3 games back in the division. That's not a lot nowadays. That is not. The Bears are now 4-5. They're only what? They're only 3 games out in their division. I mean, these are teams we were leaving for dead.
Yeah, sure.
That we were just leaving for dead. Although I don't think Minnesota is going to give up that top spot. I think they're locking that one in. Next game would be what? Oh, what would we do? We did Jaguars. Oh, Browns 9, Steelers 30.
Charge! We're from the town with that great football team. We cheer the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Your backup quarterback came out for the rest of the game, and being your starting quarterback, he is now the backup and starting quarterback for your team.
Set another record.
Yeah, he just
uncorked it for 379 and 3 TDs
on a hurt foot.
And he was in a walking boot on Monday, crutches. So
then
went off.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Antonio Brown, another huge game. 10 for 139, 2 TDs.
Your other wide receiver there too, Bryant.
178. Yep.
Yeah. What
That's
running game?
Offense.
What do we need a running game for?
Yeah, we had I think they had 15 yards going into the fourth quarter, and then garbage time they picked up some. But
yes, you were playing the Browns, but still, that's ridiculous. I don't care who you're playing.
Well,
that's ridiculous.
They were pesky in the beginning there. I was a little worried, and then
until Super Ben came back.
Then it would have.
All you need is a stick in his arm out there. Just fling it.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel today was named the starter for the rest of the season.
Yes, yeah. He played pretty good.
Basically, they've given up.
Yeah, but I mean, he played all right, I thought.
They've given up on the season, and when I mean that, I don't mean like they think they don't want to win. I just mean that they got to see what they got in this game to see if they're going to move forward with him next year.
Yeah. If that was just, other than it's the first play from scrimmage where he fumbled it when he went to throw it. But
well, they also have to find out too, because it doesn't look like Pettin, the Browns head coach, is interested.
Yeah,
in him.
Yeah, right.
So if he's not interested in him, and they think after playing the rest of this year he can be the starter, then somebody got to go.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going on in Brownieville this offseason. See what happens. Pittsburgh's just got to stay healthy, and they got everything.
Yeah.
They got everything there. They got a young defense. They got these off the hook wide receivers. They got Roethlisberger, and they got a great running back. Unfortunately, not there for the rest of the season, but
we got a capable backup.
Yeah.
So
I tell you, if I'm going into the draft next year and I'm the Steelers, I'll spend my first 2 to 3 picks on offensive linemen. Keep my quarterback and running back healthy and to sling around.
Our line's pretty young, actually, too. But
it never helps having extras in there.
We need defensive backs.
Yeah, you're still, though. That defense is coming along every week.
Yeah. No, scoring-wise, they're holding people down for scores. They're giving up a lot of yards, but they're not letting people score. So
that's the important thing.
That's a good thing. Yep.
Yeah, it reminds me of the kind of in a weird way the Bills of the '90s. Our Buffalo's defenses used to give the opponent a lot of yards. But the ultimate bend but don't break.
Right. Yeah.
Would not let them score. And then we had an offense that was just ringing up the ching, 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 the scoring of the points, and that seems like what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is awful strange for a Steelers team.
Yep.
But
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's happening. They'll take it. Vikings 30, Raiders 14. The Raiders, I picked them and they let me down.
Yeah, me too. I took them this week too. Yeah, they're fading a little bit.
But I did pick them not knowing that what the status of Teddy Bridgewater was.
Yeah,
because I thought that was a very important factor. I don't even know who their backup is.
I don't either.
Yeah, so that was a big factor in my choice.
Yep.
If I'd known Bridgewater was going to play, I probably would have taken the Vikings. If Bridgewater doesn't scrape out a win for you, Adrian Peterson's going for 200 yards and they're blowing you out.
Which is what he did. He pretty much ran everybody over.
So they really seem to have just everything ticking along.
Yep.
Their defense is holding teams under what's always the big threshold, 20-some points, 23 points or something, they always say.
Yeah.
If most teams get held under 20 points or something like that.
Right.
If your defense can hold them underneath that, you can win if you have any kind of offense, and that's what seems to be what the Vikings are doing. Who did they play the week before?
Minnesota.
As I'm looking. Yeah. Did they have the week up? No, they played the Rams. What? Yeah, and the Rams scored 18 points, and they won, and the Vikings won. Yeah, see? It's the magic thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Bears scored 20 the week before, and Vikings scored 23, and they won. Yeah, that's the magic number, I guess. But, so the Vikings the Raiders are young. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to be up and down, but the problem is you just don't want to catch them. You don't want to catch them or take them lightly, or they'll sting you. Patriots 27, Giants 26. Can the Giants screw up another end of the game this season, or what?
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
Yes, I'm going to throw the ball into the end zone at the end of the game every single play. At least get creative. You know? Run the ball a little bit in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, even though the Patriots won, they have some. Coughlin has got their number.
Yeah.
Coughlin and Eli.
He does. I should have wrote the stats down, but they said they've how many times he's beaten the Patriots. I forget what it is.
Three times.
Yeah.
3 times. They're the only team that I believe Belichick hasn't. The Patriots have not beat since 2008 until Sunday. But still, I bet you that's the only team they have a losing record against.
Yep.
Now, you can say it that way since 2008.
Sure.
They just go, the Patriots, I don't know if they go into mental lock, but I watched that game, and suddenly Brady looked like the guy in those Super Bowls again. He didn't look like the guy who's been dominating, and I don't know. Maybe,
know what it is.
Maybe it's something on their helmets or something that makes them go like, woo.
They lost Edelman, looks like, for at least a significant amount of time, which is pretty big, I think.
pretty big for me since the Buffalo's playing on Monday night. Get that little pesky bastard out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right when I thought they got rid of Welker, they got Edelman to do he's basically the new Welker.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, Amendola, well, he usually gets hurt, so hopefully we can get him hurt in the first quarter and finally take away all these damn weapons. Chiefs 29, Broncos 13.
Wow.
I picked that one. Peyton passed Brett Favre for all-time passing yards and got benched in the same game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I think Peyton. I'm not. I believe he has the arm strength, but I just think with his age, he's getting hurt way too easily, and he can't. He doesn't have the ability anymore as an older quarterback to play through the injuries effectively. He has anything, and it takes away from his throwing ability.
Yeah, I think that's the end of him.
If you could give even this season, if you can give me a healthy Peyton Manning, I'll take him. But he hasn't been healthy, I don't think, really all season.
Yeah,
he's always had an issue, and now he's got ligaments in his foot.
Yeah,
is now the new one, which is he's not playing this week.
Right.
Brock Osweiler.
Osweiler. Yes.
I don't know if that's a '70s porn name or a quarterback's.
Yeah.
Just a little tidbit here. The Broncos actually offered Tyrod Taylor more money than the Bills did.
Really?
For this offseason.
Wow.
And he wanted to go where he was going to have, well, he was familiar with Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go a place where he could actually win the starting job.
Sure. Wow.
So that's, if Osweiler bites it, that could be a significant non-signing for them.
Sure.
Because Tyrod is obviously showing that he's got the goods as a starting quarterback.
Definitely.
The Chiefs are on a tear since that London game. Didn't they win the week before that too? I think before they ripped the Lions a new butt. I think they as we look in our stuff.
Oh no, they were on a bye week 9.
The week before the Lions, though, I think they beat you guys.
Kansas City, and then
they beat you guys.
Yeah.
So they started that game against you guys, being the Steelers, really kind of started their
roll.
Their little roll here. And they must have had the off. No, they lost to the Vikings that week. Yeah, so they're great, just in time for Buffalo after this New England game to go play over there. They're getting hot. Wonderful. That's going to be a good game, Buffalo and Kansas City. But they're not that far back in their division. They're tied with the Raiders.
Nope.
So that's a possibility for them, even especially with Manning being out.
Yeah.
That, which we don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for them. Cardinals 39, Seahawks 32. Go back there. The Chiefs going into Denver and winning against a division winner, a leader, and an opponent. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I kind of put it back up there with the Bills going into the Jets and beating them.
Yeah.
Cardinals 39, Seahawks 32. Cardinals just even in a flawed game, a very flawed game for them, they still they keep Carson Palmer upright.
Yep.
Still
rolling.
The Seahawks, they need to do some off-season fixes with their offense because it's not working.
Yeah.
They have offensive line problems, and they got Jimmy Graham. That's got to be one of the most wasted trades ever.
Right.
They got rid of an offensive lineman that they probably could use right now, and they got a tight end that they don't know how to use.
Yeah.
Let's go get a pass catch. We are a run-first offense. Let's go get a pass-catching tight end.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well.
For that matter, with Foles being benched for the Rams and Bradford looks like he's not going to play for the Eagles, lose on that trade.
Yeah.
The only person that comes out ahead, I think, is the Rams get a second-round pick next year. And the Eagles, Bradford stayed healthy and played just enough games to so that the Rams pick going to the Eagles got voided.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right before before this game, I think it was.
Wow.
So that is another lose completely.
Yep.
Just ugly. A couple of ugly trades that everybody thought were really big deals when they happened. Texans 10, Bengals 6. Oh, where is it? Oh, that's Jay, everybody.
Yeah. They're starting early this year.
Jay's a happy man.
At home. Oh, I was loving that when I didn't watch the whole game. I flipped to it in the second quarter, and I watched pretty much most of it because I was loving it, watching them look like fools.
The funny thing is, the guy who really helped the Texans win this game is T.J. Yates.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that T.J.? Is it
something
T.Y. Yates?
T.Y. No, I think it is T.J. Yates.
Whatever.
I don't know,
Yates.
Yates.
And he's the one who holds the only playoff win in Houston in the Houston franchise history as their quarterback, and they beat the Bengals for that win in the playoffs. So that is like some kind of bizarre karma all coming around.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. So if I was, let me tell you one thing. If I was what's his face there, Bill O'Brien, I'd just be like, "Oh, this is my quarterback. We're done." That's it.
Yep.
We're done.
I don't know. I can't find this.
I think it's
big deal.
T.Y. Yates. I think it is. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yates.
Yeah, everybody knows who it is who's listening to this.
Yeah.
And the Bengals, Tyler Eifert obviously needs Stickum.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was it? Green there dropped a couple and that big fumble at the end.
You can't have that kind of game in your own house, though.
Yeah, no,
Not in your own house.
To a really poor team.
I mean, listen, the Packers finally got defeated. They played another undefeated team in away.
Yep.
Broncos went and played the Colts, but they were in Indianapolis. You can't be sitting there playing a sub 500 team in your own house.
Trap game, I think.
Oh, huge. On Monday night. How do you have a trap game on Monday Night Football? The Bengals are the Bengals.
The Bengals.
Yep. The Bungles.
Yep.
Your losers for the week?
My losers will be the Bungles, Green Bay, New Orleans, Cleveland, and Oakland.
Yeah. I went same with you, Bengals and Rams. Like we just discussed with the Bengals, but the Rams every other week thing has got it.
Yeah.
The Broncos, letting a division opponent just throttle you in your own thing. Packers, obviously, because they're just asleep at the wheel right now.
Yeah.
And the Jets for losing to a division opponent.
Yeah, at home.
That you're in the throes of a wild card race against.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
My winners, I'll go with Bills and Steelers for those obvious reasons. The Steelers having your starting backup quarterback come in on 1 foot and throw a whole bunch of record yards and shit and kill a division opponent who are pesky to you. The Bills, obviously big win. Rex Ryan going back to New York and just the division implications, wild card implications. The Lions for winning in Green Bay.
Yep.
The Bears, I have hot streak, like unbelievable. Might make a run, actually, for a wild card.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals just not having the greatest game and playing a really tough opponent in Seattle where it's hard to win. And, getting out of there alive.
Sure.
Your winners?
I went with Buffalo and Pittsburgh, same reasons. The Bears. Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And winning on the road. I thought that was big. And Minnesota going over to Oakland and
The West
pulling
Coast
out
ride.
a win there on a team that was kind of hot. I mean, they're losing a little fire, but
Yeah. No, absolutely. My winner for the week is Buffalo. I think I just think they were set up to fail with all the hype around Rex Ryan coming home. It's a Thursday night primetime game. I was waiting for the epic fail because that's what Buffalo has done the last 14 years in that spot. And they pulled off a huge win for them. So I put Buffalo as my winner.
Mine, I'm going to go with Detroit there. First win in Lambeau since 91, so that one's going to push me.
Yeah.
That was a big win for them.
That is a big win.
Oh.
That would be huge for them if they were in any kind of run for anything. My loser is the Packers.
Yeah. I'll second that one.
Letting the Lions period win in Green Bay when you've had that much of a hold on them.
Yeah.
But then the lonely Lions at this point.
Yeah.
That's just blech. Oh, is that what you went to with?
Yeah, I'll second that.
My 5 dumpster fires. I put the Ravens at number 5 just because they're just so beat up and they can't catch a break either.
Yeah.
They're just everything is going against them.
Yep.
The Giants because I reluctantly I put the Ravens and the Giants in there because I just didn't. A lot of people got off my schneid, so to speak, of dumpster fires this week. And when I say a dumpster fire, I usually mean from owner down. The whole there's. It's just not that they're playing bad. It's the whole.
Yeah.
The whole team is just terrible from even general manager and owner, which I don't think the Giants and Ravens are. The Ravens are just riddled with injuries, and the Giants just have a decision-making problem at around 2 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
The Browns are a dumpster fire from top to bottom, except I still think I still like their head coach, but the rest of it is just a mess. And the Eagles, I know it's only the second year, but the Chip Kelly experiment is not going good in any way, shape, or form. And of course, the Cowboys. I mean, you've got a almost proud, woman beater. You've got a receiver that just flies off the handle once or twice a season. You've been riddled with injuries, and you have an owner that's just insane. So they're leading they're my number one dumpster fire this week, and they might be for a while. I think we covered everything for the recap, didn't we? That was a long recap for us.
I did horrible this week.
I did too. I did 8 and 6.
It was a tough week. I was 5 and 9.
Ooh, you went under.
Yeah.
I haven't gone under yet.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be the week, believe me.
I'm trying to play catch up too, so I'm picking some flyers here. But,
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah.
I think it's over.
Yeah, you never know. Hey, don't. I'm also taking flyers, so I could be headed there too. I'm getting a little braver, so I could get caught. All right, that's the wrap up of our week 10, and we'll get to our picks after this.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour.
Listen to Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast every Wednesday wherever you find Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour. Get a hold of us at Bob and Jay's Pass Rush at gmail.com and at Pass Rush Podcast on Twitter. Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast.
Well, thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Because I can't remember that stuff. I spent too long remembering the other podcast stuff, and I put too many P's in we put too many P's, Pass Rush and everything else. Pass Rush podcast and everything. It's difficult. Our week 11, I'll let you tip it off with Titans Jaguars.
I'm gonna go with Jacksonville.
I am too. I'm on the Jacksonville train
Yeah.
until they play somebody that's really good.
Yeah.
But okay. Regardless, if they've had two of their wins seem to be by bad calls, referee calls. I'm still going to take them, especially over the Titans. I think they're equal misery at this point.
Yeah.
Broncos at the Bears.
I'm going with Chicago.
I am too.
I don't think Brock Osweiler's gonna.
I just have no idea.
Chicago's been a little hot.
If Peyton Manning, if they can look that miserable with a bad Peyton Manning,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to look like with a Brock Osweiler. So, I have no idea. Never seen the kid play,
Yeah.
so I don't know anything. And the Bears are just tearing it up.
Yeah. They've been hot.
And the Broncos' defense hasn't been that great either.
Mm-hmm.
They lost. DeMarcus Ware's been out, I think. He was out last week. And they, without their two-headed monster, him and Von Miller working together, it seems like they've lost a little bit of their impact.
Yep.
Raiders Lions. This was a difficult one for me this week.
Yeah, a little tricky. I think I'm going to go with Detroit, though, at home.
I'm going with the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders just overall have too much talent for the Lions to handle right this moment. The last week's game, I saw more disappointing in Green Bay than I did improvement in Detroit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? If Detroit had suddenly whooped Green Bay and Green Bay wasn't struggling, I have some different thoughts, but I'm not quite sure the Lions can fix what's ailing them this season. And the Raiders seem to be in every other team, so this is their every other, so I'm picking them. And they just have a lot of the Raiders are very explosive when they start hitting on all cylinders. Mm-hmm. As you well know in playing them.
Yep.
They can be very explosive. Colts and Falcons. Oh, this was a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal. Both teams coming off a bye too, I believe.
Yes, they are. Yep. I'm going to Atlanta at home.
It's funny because I one of the ones. This is one of the ones I saved for last, and I picked the Falcons, and I went, oh, they're home and off a bye, and I looked at Colts, I went, no shit, they're off a bye too. Yeah, I'm taking Atlanta too. No Andrew Luck. Not that Hasselbeck is a terrible. The way Luck's been playing this season, Hasselbeck isn't right. Like a huge drop at quarterback, but I think the Falcons can be explosive when they offensively, and I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any spark in Indianapolis,
right?
Especially without Luck. Jets at the Texans.
I'm going to go with Houston here. I was kind of back and forth on this one. I'm going to take Houston.
Under my better judgment, I'm taking the Jets. Number one is we don't know if Fitzpatrick is playing. Mm-hmm. They said it looks good, but if he has a setback because he had surgery the day after the Bills game on Thursday, he had surgery on his left thumb. And it frightens me that I might have picked the Jets and Geno Smith would be the starter. So, but I'm going to go with that.
All right.
And because I don't know what the Texans quarterbacking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My thought if I was the Texans head coach would be to put T.J. Yates right back in there, T.Y. Yates, whoever the hell that guy is. It's T.J. Yates because T.Y. Hilton, I think, is who we're thinking of, the wide receiver for the Colts.
Yeah.
Yates, dude, is my head, if I was the head coach of the Texans, would be like, I'd obviously put Yates in. You know what I mean?
Right.
He can deliver. He's got a hot hand. But that doesn't mean that they do that in the NFL. Yeah. So it could be back to Hoyer. So I'll take the Jets. The Jets' defense is still so extremely good. The Buccaneers at the Eagles. Ooh, this was another one where I was like, oh, dear Lord.
I know. It was. I want to pick Tampa, but I think I'm going to go with Philly just because they're at home.
I picked Tampa Bay because, well, I'll give you one name, Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
That should scare everybody straight. He's going to start for the Eagles.
Yep.
And you're talking about an offense that relies on the passing game and Mark Sanchez. That's all I have to say. I'll take the Bucks on that.
Right.
Redskins, Panthers.
Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next one. Cowboys, Dolphins. I'm taking the Cowboys for the first time. Tony Romo's going to be back.
Yeah, I was going back and forth here too, but I think I'm going to go with Dallas also.
Yeah, I don't
Romo
think
will bring enough spark.
I think he lifts that team so much higher than they are.
Yeah.
Just from a quarterback standpoint.
Yeah, we'll see.
And the Dolphins, I can't pick the Dolphins for anything. There's no way. I didn't even pick this game, but I'll have to pick it now. This is the one that I hadn't picked on my whole schedule. Rams at Ravens.
I'm going with St. Louis. The Ravens are just a mess.
Yeah, I'm going to go with St. Louis, even though I'm really pissed at them. And this is their every other.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like the Raiders, every other, except they're not supposed to be. The Raiders at least have, the thought of they're a young team, but the Rams should not be going every other. And with their great new quarterback, Case Keenum.
Yes.
Well, he'll save the day. Chiefs at Chargers.
I'm going with San Diego off the bye at home.
Not a chance. Chiefs are red hot, and the Chargers, I think they are actually having tryouts for local high schools to fill the roster. I'm kidding on that. It seems like they probably should have been. I think they could have 6 months of a bye week and not be healthy.
Yeah.
They are so beat up. I'm going with Chiefs on this. I don't see Rivers getting away from that Chiefs defense. That's going to be rough. Packers at Vikings.
Minnesota.
I am too.
Yeah.
It's not an easy.
Green Bay's got to turn around sooner or later, but I don't know. Minnesota's been playing too good.
Yeah, Minnesota's been playing real well. Yeah, and they got lucky they were in that game last week, and it was the Lions, and they still lost. They still had a chance.
Yeah.
And I think if that was the Vikings. But like we discussed the other week, the Vikings are playing to their opponent a lot, and they're winning.
Right.
Usually when people say that about their teams, this team is playing to that level. That usually is disappointing because they're losing those. They're going down and losing games they shouldn't be. The Vikings are winning all the games they should be. So but they just seem to be raising themselves to their opponents' levels. So I'm going Vikings with that. 49ers at Seahawks.
Seattle.
Yeah, the only reason the 49ers weren't a dumpster fire is because they didn't play last week. Seattle. I think even a mediocre Seattle team is better than this 49ers team.
Yep.
Bengals at the Cardinals. Big game.
Cardinals.
Yeah, you're telling me Cincinnati wasn't looking toward that game.
Cincinnati's falling back.
Cincinnati was looking at that game. They had to have been. That's what the trap game. They were looking past. Cardinals. Yeah, I think this is going to be the Bengals slump right here.
Yep.
And Monday night, Bills Patriots.
I want to pick Buffalo so bad.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
But I'm going with New England.
Yeah,
I think
you don't.
I do. I think they're going to give them a hard time, but
yeah. Oh, I'll agree with that. They're going to give them a hard time, but
yeah, I got to go with New England
until Buffalo can hang with the Patriots and beat them at least one game a year and significantly.
Yeah.
How can anybody not pick the Patriots in this?
Yeah.
Because
I hate them. That's why.
Okay, I understand that. That's
but the way my picks have been going lately, maybe.
Yeah, that is true. Well, the way my picks are too. You know what? I think I picked Buffalo twice. They won twice. The only two times I picked them and they won, and I think they were both against Miami. Otherwise, when I picked against them, I think they won. So. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I automatically pick the Patriots in any pool against the Bills because until Buffalo shows me otherwise with the Patriots, they seem to. The Patriots are we are forever the Patriots bitch right now, and the only people who can change that is Buffalo. So we'll find out. Well, I would be shocked if they get run over and creamed on Monday night. I would be so disappointed because letting that happen after you've gone through 2 division games, I know it's in New England, but after you played New England already, and Rex Ryan usually with his the whole thing, if they don't come in and play well, at least it's going to be very disappointing.
Yep.
Well, I think that's it. That cleans up Week 11, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does.
All right. Well, this cleans up Week 10 and our picks for Week 11. We'll clean up Week 11 next week.
Yep.
And we'll see you. And we'll say Viva la France.
Yes.
And we'll catch everybody next week. Bye.
Bye.
From Homebrew Studios, this has been Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast, brought to you by Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour.